Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video you're all going to have different goals, and this is about adjusting to your personal goals. So we're going to talk about, particularly in this video, weight loss. If your goal is weight gain or staying the same weight, listen anyway, but we're going to talk about that in a bit more in the next video. So we're also going to go a little bit into detail around the psychology of weight loss, the psychology of weight gain a little bit later on in later videos, but for now we're just going to talk about the numbers and what to do with them. So far we've given you the average weight tool, so you're not going to get weighed and look at a daily weigh-in, you're going to use the average weight. It's very important at this point not to get on the scales and be scared about what that individual daily weigh-in is. You'll get used to it, don't worry, especially when you start posting in the group and seeing the people doing that there. You've also got MyFitnessPal. You're going to be logging your weight into MyFitnessPal. Just makes it easier because you're putting your food there anyway. You can also put pictures there as well. So I'm going to hand you over to Dean to talk a little bit about the numbers and go into detail there.
Okay, so when you're actually getting weighed on your scales, you might actually see like 1/4 pound and 3/4 pound, etc. At this stage, just completely ignore that and let's round the figure down. If you jump on and it is a 1/4 pound, then round it down to the nearest whole. If it is a 1/2 pound or 3/4 pound, just simply round it up. So for instance, if you jump on and you are 150.25 pound, then round it down to 150. If you're 150.5 or you're 150.75, round it up to 151. Just so that you get nice whole numbers. It just makes it
it's nice and easy.
Nice and easy for yourself. Right now, when we're talking about what is going to be happening with the average weight from week to week, you need to know what it is that you should actually be doing with those figures. So in the first week, when you very first go into your weight loss calories, simply just follow the calories and do nothing. Just pay like really close attention to the actual tracking of every single thing that is going into your mouth. When it comes to week 2 and week 3, this is when you can start looking at what is happening as a comparison to the previous weeks, and this is where we actually start making adjustments, or in fact you start making adjustments based on what you're starting to see. So this is where it becomes really, really personable to you. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into your week 2 and your week 3. Now remember, we talked in the last video about this magic 1%. That is what we're after now. So we're after getting you to the point where on a weekly basis you're losing up to 1% of your body weight per week. If you're losing a little bit more than 1%, then what we're simply going to do is in fact, we'll come on to that in a little bit. Let's talk about why we've actually come up with this 1%. Before we start baffling you with little numbers and stuff like that.
Why?
Yeah, probably best if you actually know why. So we're after this 1% weight loss, but why? Why have we come up with this number? What's it all about? Well, most of you have actually been on a diet before. You've probably gone really, really low in calories and you felt pretty rubbish. This because your calories were too low. So setting your calories too low, you will get like really, really fast weight loss, and that seems like a great thing, but the reality of it is it's not really, really good in the long term.
And what do we call this? The yo-yo diet effect. Yeah. We've all heard of it. We don't want that. We're trying to help you move away from that, right?
So if your calories are actually set too low, then your energy is going to be low, your mood is going to be really, really irritable. You're probably going to suffer with a little bit of muscle loss. Your risk for sickness and your immune system becoming like reduced is that shoots up massively when your calories are too low. And even along the lines of your metabolism can possibly start to get affected in the long term. The main reason why we don't set the calories too low is because it just makes it too hard for you to be able to stick to. And that's our goal. Our goal is to make this as easy as possible for you to stick to until you get to your goal. For the same token, if you've set your calories too high and you're taking in too many calories, you're just going to gain weight, and that's not what we're after.
That, of course, could be because you're tracking wrong as well.
Yeah.
You're making mistakes when you're putting them into MyFitnessPal. Could put you into the too high area.
Yeah.
And what the science says, you just gain weight, and we can't do nothing about that.
So this 1%, that's what we like to call the just right area. And that's the just right area for you. So this is where you actually feel full of life. You've got great energy levels. Your metabolism's not really going to get affected. Your immune system's going to feel fine. You're going to actually be losing weight, but consistently you're going to be able to stick to it in the long term. That's what it's all about. So it's a case of the number being just enough of a calorie deficit for you to lose the right amount of weight for you on a week to week basis.
So now we know why we want to be in the just right area. We don't want to be too low, we don't want to be too high, we want to be just right for you. So what do we do with that week 2 and 3, what Dean spoke about earlier, to make the adjustment? We're aiming for 1% weight loss, for the weight loss, if that's your goal, of course. What's going to happen if you use the average weight? Week 1 you ignore, week 2 you weigh a number, week 3 you weigh a number. What happens if it's more than 1%? So you're going to add 50 calories. So you might want to write this bit down. So you're going to add 50 calories if it's more than 1%. Okay, so let's give that an example of a 250 pound person. If you've lost more than 2.5 pounds, because Dean said in the last videos, divide by 100 will give you your average, your 1% number. So if it's more than 2.5, even if it's 2.7 pounds you've lost, it sounds like it feels good, but as Dean just explained, that pushes you into the too low area on your calories, and we just need to bring it up just a little bit. So what we're going to do there is we're going to add 50 calories to 250 pound person, and hopefully the week after it won't be so fast. Let's take a step back. What happens if they lose less than 1%? So you've taken the first video, which was find your calories, you've ate that, you've used your average weight tool, you've combined all them numbers together, and you've gained weight in week 3. What happens? You're gonna take away 50 calories.
Or even if you've not gained weight in week 3, but in week 3 you haven't lost
1%.
1%.
Yeah, you're just going to take away 50 calories. Nice and simple numbers to work with. 1%, 50 calories. Okay. So then what happens in week 4 if you don't lose the 1%? You're going to do the same again. You're going to make an adjustment of 50 calories. Week 5, week 6, week 7, and then of course some diets won't ever end, and what we want to do is put in place something at week 12 for you to continue with, like not dieting, and we call this a diet break, or we set certain things up there. Don't worry, it'll be in later videos, we're not going to go into detail there, but many diets don't give you the option to continue like in a healthy way of being, and we want you to stay in that just right area. So anything to add to that?
I think that's about it.
That's about it. So just to summarize, we've got some adjustments in week 3. The adjustments are aiming for 1% weight loss. That's it. And
from week 2 to week 3.
From week 2 to week 3. And the calorie adjustment is 50. And that's pretty much it. We're going to go into detail in this a little bit later on, but this is just a number side of it. We're going to help you do this and make it easier. So yeah, that's it. Thanks guys, see you in the next video. Any problems, shoot a message over in the group.
Cheers.